So I don't know what your life is like. Oh my God! I worked yesterday. I'm trying to get some new treatments to get feeling in my hands and my feet. Just kind of going through things. That after you break your neck, you got to kind of get things going. Daggone, I'm sorry, I had the wrong remote in my hand. Anyway. So I'm just doing my daily update. I literally slept 12 hours. It's kind of like, I don't know if you could be Rip Van Winkle, you wake up and you go, well, what happened in the world in the last 12 hours? So I've been kind of catching up on it, and I really wanted to sleep until morning. Promote a new video. I'm going to be making another adventure video somewhere in Florida because, I've been working pretty hard on the channel and on the house and on my medical stuff. I've had 3 medical appointments. I'm trying to get the dentist set up before the end of the year. I've done the taxes. I've told you about that. I'm still working on that. I'm transferring money around. So, it's kind of like every now and then, and I encourage you to do this, take a mental break. And so that's what I've decided. Either today, because it's after midnight at this point, unfortunately, I've got to get some more sleep. But I'm gonna go somewhere, probably strike out maybe an hour or two, and I'm gonna make a video at one of the Florida state parks or a refuge or somewhere around here, something that if you visit Florida that you're gonna want to see. So we'll get that, and that's gonna go up on my Outdoors with Kirk channel on Rumble. So let's just get the latest. Here you go.
At the end of this video, when I'll reveal why even globalist liberals are signaling that it's time for NATO and the West to back off and negotiate a lasting peace. You are not going to want to miss this. Russian President Vladimir Putin took a rare visit to Belarus to meet with his counterpart, President Alexander Lukashenko. Both Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov as well as Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu were in Minsk ahead of Putin's arrival. This is all happening as Russian troops are holding training exercises inside Belarus, raising questions as to whether the Belarusian troops will officially join Russia in its military campaign against Ukraine. Now, big picture, my colleague Conrad Franz, who hosts the podcast World War Now, is noting that what we're seeing going on here between Russia and Belarus is part of a wider geopolitical relationship known as the Union States. So goes back to a treaty starting in 1997 where Lukashenko and then Russian President...
Okay, I can't steal too much material. That's Dr. Steve Turley. He's on YouTube. I've been fishing around, you got the Canadian Prepper, you've got, I watched some horrific videos on Rumble the Russians. Russian television, they're posting, and I watched some Russian television. They're putting up their propaganda, and so you just kind of disseminate it all. But I'll try to do the Russian war breakdown of what we're seeing. I wish we had a leader in the United States. Unfortunately, Biden's just a puppet being run by the globalist. I hate to say it. You have to, what is it? Some American general said you have to admire your enemies, right? Putin is a real leader. You can see he's going around. He had, just think about the energy of the man. He's supposed to be, 70 years old or something? He's a pretty damn old dude, And I'm 59, sleeping 12 hours, right? But he flew around. He had 3 big meetings today. And like you heard from Steve Turley, he was in Belarus, so something big is in the works, and so he's and he's a leader. He's going around. He's meeting with all of his commanders. He's taking his feedback, and I'm sure that he's getting briefed on the war. And that's another thing that I kind of want you to understand is Russia looks at this as World War III. As you know, over 30% of their budget, think about the United States, okay? If you look back at World War II, when we went on to a war footing, if we had true leadership, as we did back then under FDR, as much as I hate the guy, he was a Democrat, he served 4 terms as president. You got to admire that. He was almost the emperor of the United States at the time. But when he decided we were going to all-out war, all of our industry was converted over to manufacturing weapons. Well, that's what Russia has done. They're on a war footing, as in what we were in World War II. Do you think the Biden administration is doing a damn thing? No, we're going to fight this war with our existing weapons, which are being depleted at a rapid pace. So yeah, and of course the American people, they're just going around about the cities, going like, I'm on TikTok. Yeah, let's I'm gonna be a social media star. Anyway, thank God I don't pursue that goal. I don't make any money off of these videos or anything. So that was the other thing. The other interesting thing I saw on Russian television, and it makes sense. They took out 2 more mercenary platoons, I think. And so they held the bodies up, and basically they're sending a signal. And by the way, they were Americans and British for the most part, from what I could tell. Now, take it with a grain of salt. This is Russian television. And so what they're sending to the West, or the mercenaries that are here in the United States, probably some of them were veterans, I imagine. They're saying, you send your veterans over here, we're going to wipe them out. Because, unfortunately, I don't think the Ukrainians have good leadership. The other thing on Russian television I found interesting is they're painting Zelensky as a lunatic. And when you consider that he thinks he's going to take back Crimea, when the Russians are winning at this point, I don't know where the guy's coming from. So they're saying the guy has lost his mind, and they, like I said yesterday, there was a big missile strike. Now the Ukrainians are saying they've only got maybe four more strikes. Well, they were saying that 3 months ago. There's only 4 more missile strikes that the Russians can maneuver. No, the whole damn Russian country is mobilized at this point for World War III. In fact, they're deploying nukes. Belarus, they're actually training the pilots there and they're taking their nuclear weapons and they're moving them out into because the treaty's gone, right? The the Intermediate Counter-Ballistic Missile Treaty is gone. So the Russians are redeploying all their nuclear weapons to protect their country. It's huge to watch it all. And I'm just amazed that the American people don't know a damn thing about what's going on because your media sucks. Well, it's just the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. But so that's the latest on Ukraine. Let's just talk about things that on a personal note that you can deal with in your life that God knows, I just woke up maybe 2 or 3 hours ago and I'm just trying to put together a video. So this is my new Humana card. And what I was telling you, maybe next year, always go up and with Medicare.gov and look at the plans. And so this is actually a new plan that I'll be on as of January 1st, and it's a better plan because I get in-home care. Now, when you're healthy, I didn't give a shit about that. So in fact, years past, I just kind of let things renew. But this time I figured after a near-death experience, breaking my neck and, my body's destroyed. And by the way, that was the other thing yesterday. The reason why I slept 12 hours is I actually went to the gym and I worked out. I probably hiked about 3 miles and then lifted weights. And fortunately for my body to recover, it literally took me 12 hours of sleep and laying in the bed and just going, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done to myself? Please just let me lay here and sleep another 12 hours, Anyway, but so this is the new Humana plan. So next year, maybe go up on Medicare.gov if you have that and get you a new plan. The other thing, and this is the stupidity of the world. This is how broken the supply chain is. And I guess on a personal note, I probably talked about this in previous videos, but I've ordered new windows in July for the house. And they're going to be impact-resistant windows so that if there's a hurricane, in fact, they're supposed to be bulletproof windows so that, but with the new fence behind my house, I'm pretty snug like a bug here. But literally, okay, let me give you the pricing as of July. Now, I don't know what it's gone to now with inflation, but as of July, to replace the windows in my house, it was $25,000 with Renewal by Andersen. I'm just going to call them out. That was just for your run-of-the-mill windows, and I'm thinking, well, why am I going to replace my windows with run-of-the-mill windows, right? So, they're better windows by far, what I've got, because they're much more energy efficient. The new windows would have been. but you're only stepping up your windows maybe by just a fraction. Okay, so right now during the summertime, you know, the heat that comes through these windows heats up my house and runs up my electric bill. With the new windows, the $25,000 windows, let's say I save, you know, $30 a month or whatever. So yeah, that's a big savings, but it takes a long damn time to get to $25,000, right? But I was more concerned because I live at the end of a cul-de-sac, as in the event of a hurricane, because the last hurricane was 2017, the big one, there was things slamming into the front of my house, and I thought it was going to just bust right through the windows in the front of my house, and luckily it didn't. It just hit the garage door, and there was some damage to the front of the house or whatever. But if it had hit that window, because that's just a cheap-ass window that I've got right now, it would have come right through. So I said, well, hell, you know, how much are the impact-resistant windows? Well, when you go to impact-resistant windows, it goes up to... what was it, 40,000, all right? And then I thought about this storm door. I got this storm door. It's a piece of crap. I've worked on it, and it works good now. But, I mean, I was like, how much to replace that? So that's another $10,000. So you're looking at $50,000. But, so I financed it at 3% on a fixed rate loan. But the loan doesn't kick in until they put the windows in. Well, they're not think about that. This is in July. We're waiting until February, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get the windows in February. This is how broken the supply chain is. I mean, literally, it's going to take till February, and so they keep, I'm just telling you the lunacy of the world, so they keep sending me statements saying that I don't owe anything, and they haven't, you know, they're not charging me anything. Why are you even sending statements? I don't give a shit. You know, I mean, unless, you know, something was changing, right? You know, if they were charging me interest or they were talking about discontinuing the loan in some fashion. The other thing, hey, I did find out today, I picked up another 100 shares of Uranium Energy Corporation, UEC. I told you about that symbol. And of course, Johnny Bravo tells you you're a fool. You need to swing trade and not just buy and holder. I'm a buy and holder. And then, of course, I'm going to start looking into Silvercrest. That was a Rick Rule recommendation. The other thing that I wanted to give you some advice on was, you know, when was the last time that you looked at your estate? Okay, you know, I always encourage everybody to do a living trust. My mom didn't, and that created a lot of problems. She divided the executorship. It was, you know, so if you want your kids or your estate to go to something that, you know, when you die that means something, you might just want to say, well, who cares? Just let it go to the government, you know, and that's what'll happen if you don't have a will or relatives or whatever. I have no relatives. I have nothing. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you, I made some huge progress yesterday. There's a community foundation here in Ocala, Florida. And so we're going to set up, it's called well, think about it. You got the Clinton Foundation. Probably there's a Trump Foundation. I imagine there's an Elon Musk Foundation. And we know that there's the Bill Gates Foundation. So I'm going to set up, you know, the That Cybersecurity Guy Foundation. And so all of my estate will go to that foundation. And then what I'm going to have to do, but you've got to find the people to set up the foundation. That was the hard part. You know, when we're just little peons, you know, I mean, how the hell do you set up a foundation? So anyway, I got this woman on the hook, and she's going to help me basically set up a foundation so that my estate gets distributed properly upon my death. You know, you think about it, I should be dead now. You know, back in May when I fell down the stairs and broke my neck. So, you know, who knows what the next event is going to be. And you know I'm going to be doing stupid shit because we're going to have some good adventure videos coming up. In fact, tomorrow, I'm going to try to get out somewhere, somehow, and we're going to do a big damn adventure. Hopefully, we'll run into some alligators. You know, I might tease them with my stick, you know, let them chase me around. You know, we're going to do some fun shit here because I'm getting better, and I can go out and do some big hikes now. And I want to show you around Florida as best I can, and that's going to be the Outdoors with Kirk on Rumble. That's it for this video. I can't think of anything else to talk about. We hit on investments. The other one was he mentioned, I don't know anything about this. Like I said, Express Royalty, Pan American, MAG. I don't know what MAG is, and Silvercrest. Like I said, I gotta look into all of that. There's only so much time in the day. Was there anything else in the news? Oh yeah, this was another thing in the news. The FDA has I guess since the British Parliament met, if you watch my previous video, they've come out and said, yeah, there are possible side effects to the jab. So, you know, you can go up on FDA's website and you can read all about that now, but they're still recommending the jab for children. I'm not going to voice an opinion on that. The British Parliament did. You might want to watch that video. They were debating that. So anyway, don't want to get banned from YouTube for saying anything wrong. I'm not a doctor. So yeah, I mean that's a huge admission. And but the thing is, I mean, even Redacted, if you watch Redacted, they're pointing out that they were advertising, still advertising at football games. I mean, I'm seeing advertisements, and this is your tax money. Think about it. How many advertisements do you hear for this vaccine? How many? These are all government paid. Now, Pfizer, if Pfizer was paying for the ads, I'd say fine. You know, they're a private company. That's not your tax money. No, this is the government that is spending your money to advertise a vaccine that's manufactured by a private company, which we're having a lot of questionable news about in the recent times now that we're not completely censored on everything that we have to say. What does that, I mean, how does that make you feel? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this video. Peace out, stay free. Good to live in this free state of Florida, and we're going to have this great adventure hopefully today. I gotta get to sleep. After sleeping 12 hours, now I'm all wound up, you know, and I got to try to get back to sleep and then I got to get on the road early in the morning because I'm going to strike out probably somewhere within about an hour or 2 hours from my house. And we're going to do a state park or a trail system somewhere. I don't know yet. I got to get on the computer. I've been kind of looking because, you know, you got to plan. I found some places north of me, but if I go north, I want to wait until I have an appointment at the VA because I'm always going to Gainesville, and that's an hour north. So why am I going to drive an hour north or an hour and a half north to go to a place where the next time I go to the VA, I can just, you know, be within 20 minutes, 30 minutes striking distance. So I'm trying to find something on the Gulf Coast at this point. All right, peace out. Stay free.